So, what do you get when you are on Marketplace at 1 in the morning? Well, this is what it looks like. Here is a 1982 Holden WB Panelvan, and it might just be the cheapest in Australia. So let's have a look through it. So it really lives up to the name of being the cheapest in Australia. As you can see, we've got a bit of rust up here, which I can stick my whole hand in, and that goes all the way along the water channels here. Got a dent there, a dent here. We've also got rust all the way underneath. Now, pretty common stuff for these. Same as down here in this quarter. Holdens were known for being quite rusty, as were most cars around this time or this era in Australia. But yeah, just common rust all the way along the tops there. Another dent here. Sills on this side are pretty average. The door's seen better days, and one of the biggest killers on these cars, the plenum. So all the way along is completely gone. So that's going to have to be replaced. Got another ding there, bit of rust here. Otherwise, it's a pretty alright car for the exterior. Then you go interior wise. It's got a complete dash, which is quite rare to find these days. The bench seat does need a little bit of work. And same story down the bottom here. You can stick my whole hand through the bottom of the floor. So that's going to have to be replaced as well. Now, we've got a 3 on the tree, which all still somewhat works. We've got the yellow needle, so pretty cool, pretty stock standard though. And then hiding underneath the bonnet here, we've got the mighty Blue Motor 202. Now, this thing, well, they're not really known for making the most amount of power. They are a pretty good, reliable engine. Now, this thing has been run on LPG and also on just standard 91. So it's not going to be putting out the most horsepower, but it's going to be a mad cruiser. So let's go through what I'm going to be doing with it. Now, I'm not looking for the most horsepower with this thing. I'm looking for something that's just a little bit, take it around, take it to the beaches, and it's not going to guzzle fuel like something over here. Now, this thing is going to be just a cool cruiser, and I'm planning on putting a bed in the back here, so turn it into a little tiny house. So I've already kind of given it a nickname, the Shaggin' Wagon, and I reckon it's going to live up to that name. So there is quite a bit of work in here, a bit of rust coming through on these sides, which is all pretty common in these. So honestly, I reckon I'm going to wire wheel it all, give it a coat of black, and it should look pretty right. I'll replace the channels up here, and she should be pretty good. Even this top tailgate here is in pretty good nick. A little bit of rust up here and over here, but honestly, nothing too bad. I've seen a lot worse. So anyways, now in terms of paint, I reckon it looks pretty mad as it is. I love the little bit of patina on it. I'll obviously fix up all the rust in it, but I want to keep all the little bits like this that just look really cool. I don't want to make it all flashy. I want to keep it kind of a bit of a sleeper build. And then in terms of the engine, I'm just going to keep it as it is. Give it a good clean up, because we've got quite a bit of oil build up, as you can see. But what I'm planning on doing is ripping the motor out, go over it, new seals, whatever else, and then give it a fresh coat of paint. So that should be pretty good. Then otherwise, it's pretty good. Now, I reckon we're going to try and get this thing started. It hasn't run in roughly, I'd like to say, about 2 years, so it should just fire up. It is a pretty reliable engine, but let's give it a crack. Alright, so first thing I've done to get this thing started again, just stolen the battery out of the Z. This should hopefully just kick it over and just see how it feels. It is quite a high power battery. It's for a V8. We've only got a 6er here, so should be pretty easy. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rip all this LPG crap off, and that's probably all going to go in the bin. So I'll get back to you once I've done that. Alright, so that's all of that off. Now we have just got a Varajet on the blue motor. Now I've heard mixed reviews about these. I've heard they're alright, and then other reviews saying they are absolute shit. Now we're going to find out if it's any good. Supposedly it was rebuilt not too long ago, so it should hopefully just fire up. So I'm going to go bump the key, see what happens. Alright, here we go. Make sure it's not in gear. Alright, let's see if it will kick over. That is pretty bloody promising. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like it's got some good compression. Alright, I reckon our next thing to do is to see if we can get some fuel going to this carby. Now, don't really like the looks of this fuel pump, and actually it looks like it's already disconnected. Now, from what I've heard, it was run on LPG quite a bit, so that could be pretty dead. I reckon I'm going to just bypass that, and we're going to jump straight to the carby, and we're going to go just fuel straight in. So let's do that. I reckon I'll rip that off. She's pretty bloody tight. So that hose, I'm gonna have to replace that. It's pretty shit. And I'm looking to getting a fuel pump as well. All right, I'll find a jerry can or something to rig up, and I'll have it feeding it down so it's got a bit of pressure to fill up that bowl. All right, I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, so just got a little fuel tank from a whippersnipper or a chainsaw or something. Just got that jerry rigged up here. Just a bit of hose going down to the carby. Let's see what happens. Now the carby should be alright, but let's see what happens, I guess. We'll kick it over. If it's not in gear. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Bloody hell. That was a bit too easy. That's crazy. Right into life. Idle's a bit high, but it could be the choke on it, I guess. Let's see what happens. There we go. Alright. Let's see what happens if... Close that. Let's see if I chuck it into gear, what happens. First, would you look at that? That is insane. So it's been sitting for however long, starts right up and is driving. That is crazy. Even the speedo works. Whoop. Probably out of fuel. That is insane. Wow. Alright, I'll get it back to where we were, and I reckon we'll get on to the next thing. Well, that might have been the quickest will it run video on YouTube. That's bloody crazy. Now, it's not 100%. The carby is pretty shit, to put it in the best terms. So that's going to need a rebuild. I'm going to have to sort out this fuel pump. It is not pumping any fuel. I'm pretty sure the diaphragm's gone in it. So that's, I've got one on order. That should be here relatively soon. So probably not for today's video. But yeah, so need to rebuild that. New one of those. And then we'll go from there. Now, the first job I want to do on this panel van is I want to get rid of this LPG system down here. Now, I'm not ever going to run LPG on this car. I'm just going to stick to just normal unleaded. Now, if you want to see a video of me ripping all that out, let me know. It's probably not going to be the most interesting thing in the world, but if you want to see more videos on it, just leave a comment down below. I'd love to see what you guys think. If you just want to see this video and that's it, then let me know down in the comments. But I reckon I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time on this, so plenty of videos to come if you guys want them. So anyways, cheers for checking out the channel today. Been a little bit since I've done a video, so I think I might just quickly run through what's been happening with the Z. So still looks pretty much the same, still all the bare metal. I did this little thing up here just to keep a bit of sun out. Just had it laying around. I reckon it looks pretty good, suits the build. What else has been happening? Hasn't had a clean in a while. It's been pretty muddy down here, Victoria. I've 3D printed this little hanger here for some gauges, and it looks pretty good. Still need to clean all the wiring up and whatnot, but yeah, it looks pretty snazzy. Speedo stopped working. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to tear that apart and also look inside the gearbox, see what's going on. For whatever reason, it reads all the way up to 220. I don't know why, but that needs a bit of maintenance. Transmission wise, I would like to do a manual swap at some point soon, but they're not overly cheap. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same. Not much has changed on it. It's still a pretty rad car to drive. So that, yeah, is a little update on the Z. Might do a video going for a drive in it soon. Let me know if you want to see that. And then I've also got the Commodore, which, well, needs some paint done on it, but don't worry about that. I'll probably show you another video of that sometime soon. But for now, cheers for checking out the channel. Hopefully more videos to come on this. Till next time, catch you later, guys.